Is there a standard fee agreement? How do I negotiate fee agreements with clients? Check out this video to find out. Hey, welcome to the Millionaire Recruiter. I'm Brianna Rooney, your Millionaire Recruiter. And if you haven't yet seen this channel before, it is all about making you the next Millionaire Recruiter. So this is exciting stuff. And first of all, thank you guys so much for watching, subscribing, and liking. And most of all, for really giving me some motivation and inspiring me on what to put in these videos. It's been super fun. So a lot of people, if you haven't yet started your own recruiting business, or if you haven't yet ventured into recruiting, there's a lot of people that want to. And how do you get paid? You get paid by your clients, and therefore you have to learn how to negotiate a fee agreement. And there is absolutely a science to that, and I think it's really important that as a recruiting community, we need to really hold strong on what our fee agreements say. And the reason being is because what we do is in such demand, it is so needed, and what you really have to understand is we are actually not expensive. We save the company hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, depending on how much you are placing people with the company and how quickly you're actually doing it and how well those people are actually working out for them. So get it in your heads, recruiting is not expensive. You are not sending an expensive bill. You are sending a business expense that is a necessity and super important. So as far as the tech world is concerned in recruiting, it's pretty standard that it's 25% of the first year's salary. Now, I've heard all sorts of things in all different industries, lawyers, health, restaurant, hospitality. Some are a little more than others and some are a little less than others. So if you can just look at it as perhaps, not in tech, but perhaps 15% to 30% is pretty standard for a contingency outside recruiter fee. So what's also really clear and need to understand is this fee does not come out of the person's salary. Your candidate's salary is not at all affected by this fee. Companies have separate budgets for us that not everybody knows. So it's not affecting them. We're doing the best job possible for them, and we're also negotiating the candidate's salary with what the client can actually do, and we find that happy medium, so it's a win-win for both sides. Okay, so let's just say 25%, very, very, very standard fee agreement. Now, when do we get paid? Well, that's very exciting. Your person has to start, and then you either get paid within 10 days of them starting or 30 days. Probably the norm, depending on the size of the company, is more 30-day pay. And so I don't really care too much about if it's 10 or 30 days, because 10 is pretty quick. It's a pretty fast turnaround for any kind of account management department. So it all depends. Now, I have had a couple 45 and maybe 160 days, but that's in the course of 12 years. So I would really not want to get paid longer than that. I do have a couple high profile public companies that are just monsters, and they do have a pretty standard 60-day pay. So it's a case by case, but I would just say it's very typical 30-day pay. You need to get paid, right? You got bills. All right, and then guarantee. This is a biggie. What is a guarantee? I feel like it could be a whole new video, but essentially a guarantee is how long do you guarantee your candidate will stay with your client. Now here's the funny thing, right? Technically, we're a finder's fee. By the way, not technically, we're a finder's fee. Okay, we found this amazing person, your company, your client, I should say, put them through the ringer. They interviewed them up to their standards, right? They decided to make that decision to hire them. It should not be on you to make sure that they're happy with at your client's place. Meaning, you are not on site with your client. You are not there on the day-to-day with the person or your candidate that got hired. Okay, you are not making sure that their culture is strong, that the manager is up to standard with the candidate. Yeah, in a perfect world, we figured all of that out, and hopefully the clients you work for are amazing people to work for. But that doesn't always happen, and a lot of that stuff is out of our control. Now, I could definitely assure that a candidate at Techies is going to be really happy because I can control that environment. I cannot control my client's environment. Again, do your homework on your client, visit your client, get a feel for it, because if you're a good human being, you're going to want your candidate to go somewhere they're absolutely going to enjoy and love. Okay, so do your homework. But again, it's not up to you, right? So very standard 30-day guarantee. Now, you can wiggle all the way up to a 90-day guarantee. I would never, ever, 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 ever go farther than that. That's not what we get paid for. Done, period. If a client wants longer than that, obviously it's up to you, but I'm just telling you right now, right here, would never do it. That's not what we're paid for. Unless they want to up your fee to 35%, perhaps, but even then, you know what? And at that point too, it's like, what went wrong past 90 days that you couldn't have already figured out? 90 days is a long time to work for a company, and again, that's not your thing. So let's recap really quick. 25% is pretty standard, but I've seen 15 to 30%, so just within that realm. You really don't want to negotiate anything. I mean, I wouldn't do anything lower than that. And the way that you negotiate is you start at the tip top and then let them say something. You know, you give them your gold standard fee agreement, which is the 25%, the 10-day pay, and the 30-day guarantee. There you go. When I negotiate the fee agreement, I definitely save that for the end. So I build my value in that phone call, in the meeting, whatever you decide to do, as to like, hey, this is why you're talking to me, this is what I can do for you, and this is how I can make, you know, your interview process seamless, and while also sending you pretty amazing candidates and saving you time and money in the long run. Again, the value you have to build. Then you just say your fee agreement as a very matter of fact. Sometimes I don't even say it over the phone. I just say, hey, I'll go ahead and shoot you over our standard fee agreement. Just sign and send back when you're done. Or when you're ready. Okay. If they ask, I'll tell them, absolutely. And some companies will say, oh gosh, that's above any other recruiters we work with. A pretty easy response is, so if you work with other recruiters that are doing a great job for you, why are we talking? Oh, it's probably because they're not doing a good job for you. And what's the giant saying? Yep, you get what you pay for, and that is always true, okay? Except at Target, I love Target. All right, no, but seriously, you get what you pay for. And you know what? Sometimes you've already kind of like romanced and fell in love with this client and you have like a really good vibe. Yeah, if you want to negotiate a little bit, fine. Let's say you do 25%, you say 25%, and they go, oh, my other recruiters are at 20. And say, you know what? We can do 22. How's that? Oh, I'm so sorry, we do 20%. Yeah, I don't know if we can. How many positions do you have? And then you start to really like dig into it, like, okay, because guess what? If you have a really good working relationship, they have a lot of good positions, it's a solid client, good pitch, right? Then, and good people that are like involved in the company, then yeah, maybe it is a really great client for you and for your future. Again, being in the recruiting industry, remember, you're not always relying on right now, you're relying on what's gonna be most beneficial down the line and in the future, because referrals are gold, okay? Don't forget that. Don't, say no because they didn't do the 2% higher, 3% higher. Yeah, they understand that you work on contingency, and sometimes you just have to really focus on the clients that are going to pay you the most, but also really realize that you want to work with the clients that you're going to have the best working relationship with, because you could have a really high fee agreement client who's a pain in the ass and you never place anyone, or maybe once in a blue moon. And you could have this really amazing client that you have this great relationship, you had so many referrals from, that you place tons of people at. So who you're gonna go with? Okay, case by case situation. I just want to throw out there really just what's the norm and how to negotiate and go back and forth. And you never start at, your lowest, because everybody negotiates, all right? So good luck. And have fun, with the clients as well. Remember, it's not always about the fee agreements, it's about the relationship. But get a good fee agreement. And one thing I always do is I don't pay back anymore. It's a prorated refund. Prorated refund on the guarantee. For example, if this person, I hate talking about this, but if this person falls out, doesn't make it through the whole guarantee, let's say it's a 60-day guarantee and they make it to day 50, the company has to pay your fee of 50 days worth of your fee. You can give them the 10 days back on what that rate is per day. But you definitely are not, giving the full, there's no full refund. That's crazy. And I don't even like to replace anymore because I just don't think that that's a win-win for either party. I think it's really fair to just do prorated, and actually a lot of companies prefer it as well. So enjoy, have fun negotiating, and if you are already a recruiter, I would love to hear your negotiating tips. And then, as an upcoming recruiter, this really isn't so scary. I know a lot of times people don't want to negotiate and have fear of going back and forth, especially like if you feel like really green and this company is just, intimidates you. That can totally happen. That happened to me when I first started. Just know at the end of the day, this is very normal and it's something you have to do in order to be really good at your job. And I know you want to be really good at your job because I know you want to be the next millionaire recruiter. All right, cool. So have fun. Make sure you like and subscribe and check out that next video every Thursday at noon. And don't forget that money is just the vessel that gets you to do all the amazing, awesome things you love to do. So go get it. See you next week.